Hello everyone, I'm Tanishta, child psychologist, therapist and interventionist. Welcome to my channel. Here I am today with another interesting topic of child psychology or psychology, but and it is a continuation of discipline. If you remember, in the last 3 videos I was talking about discipline, various type of discipline. So this is another type of discipline which we can impose in our child's life and which will be helpful. It has been helpful in many cases. So that is behavior modification. So what is behavior modification? Behavior modification is basically an idea where good behavior should lead to positive consequences and bad behavior should lead to negative consequences. And where it is used, so behavior or behavior modification we use in with developmental or neurodevelopmental child, such as autistic child, ADHD child, ODD child, and it has been very effective because in all those problems we try to modify the behavior because they have some typical type of behavior like ODD. So they have some typical type of behavior and we just try to modify those behavior. It doesn't mean that this behavior modification is only applicable for those children who are neurodevelopmentally challenged. You can implement it to any kid, those specifically with those kids who are showing problem in their behavior. So behavior modification involves positive punishment, negative punishment, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Now, what is positive punishment? So, yes, it's very funny, like positive punishment, but yes, punishment can be used in a positive way. In psychology or in psychological term, positive means adding. So, where you add something in the punishment, you are modifying that part of the punishment, right? So let me give you an example. Your sibling fighting is a very common thing where two child are there in the family. So when one kid is hitting another kid or fighting with another kid, in that case parents should say that the kid who has hit another kid will do that kid's work, like insisting a child to do another sibling's work after hurting his sibling. Or if you hurt somebody, write an apology letter. Or if you have been said to arrange the room or to arrange the bed or to arrange the dining table and you have not done that, so in that case you have to do something else. So this is what positive punishment is all about. Why positive punishment is being said or why it's been imposed? The reason is that the child will not repeat the behavior again, and that is the reason why this all behavior modification or all disciplines are being imposed to the child. Next, I am going to negative punishment. What is negative punishment? Negative punishment is taking out of the privileges given to the child or removing attention, positive attention from the child. So it can be a timeout. Your time is over, means as you are not being a good child or you need not say anything to the child. So you just time, means you just take that privilege from the kid, like watching cartoon. If you allow him to watch cartoon for 1 hour, cut that time for 15 minutes, half an hour. Or if you allow him to play after doing his homework, cut that time of play. So whatever the privilege is given to him, basically you are cutting that out. Ignoring a child when he is throwing tantrum, or taking away privileges of electronic gadgets like mm, video games, any kind of game like electronic gadgets. So this is how negative punishment is imposed. Now I'm going to positive reinforcement. So what is positive reinforcement? Positive reinforcement refers to giving a child something that reinforces good behavior. A child is behaving good and you are giving a positive reinforcement for that. So discipline that relies mostly on positive reinforcement is usually very effective. So what can be the example of positive reinforcement? Positive means it's not always that if a child being good, you have to give something. Praising is a positive reinforcement. A reward system is a positive reinforcement. A token economy system is a positive reinforcement. And many of the counselor, those who take care of the child or those who provide therapist to the child, they are quite used to this term. They keep on doing this. So, a specific example of a positive reinforcement is if a child is doing his homework or completed his homework, you are allowing an extra time to play. That is positive reinforcement. Or once your child has been very good, like sitting quietly for long time, or he is helping you out in the household work, you just patted and said very good, very nice, well done, it's a lovely work. So praises are also part of positive reinforcement. Now, if I go, I'm going to the last part, that is the negative reinforcement. So, negative reinforcement is when a child is motivated to change his behavior because it will take away something unpleasant. A child who stop a behavior because his parents yells at him is trying to get rid of the negative behavior. In many cases of negative behavior, it's been seen that a parents to get parents attentions, kids are doing something like that. So parents sometimes they nag a lot, do it, they keep on nagging the child. And if the child, just to get rid of that nagging, if the child is going to, means he's doing the work, it means it's a negative reinforcement. Okay. And means another example of the negative reinforcement can be a child is getting in argument with his friends or his classmates every day in the bus stand. And just to stop that, his mother is attending him to the bus stand and he is waiting for the bus to come. He will put that kid in the bus and then the mother will leave. Just to avoid the situation, the kid started behaving well so that his mother doesn't attend with him to the bus stand. Because as the child is growing, it becomes very embarrassing for the child because as the mother is coming with him. So if a kid is doing such thing, it is a negative reinforcement and he's just trying to get rid of the negative reinforcement. So how to use a behavior modification to change a child's behavior? One thing you need to be very clear of is that you cannot force a child to change his behavior. In one day, you cannot change your kid's behavior. It is just next to impossible. You cannot. And you have to do it repeatedly. If you are putting positive reinforcement in effect, you have to do it regularly, because here in India, Indian parents are not used to praise their child. They just don't know how to praise it. They can praise other child, wow, very nice, see how good they are scoring, but they don't know how to praise their own child. And I really feel pity for that child, means for every child. In few family we have seen that child are being praised, they are being rewarded, and they are being encouraged for any small thing they are doing. In our culture, we feel that encouraging a child means we are just spoiling our kid. It's not always that. A kid always need encouragement because a kid doesn't know whether they're getting spoiled or not. They know that whether means when they have drawn a butterfly, it might look like a kite or something else. They expect a pat in their shoulder so that they can draw it much better way in the next time. But we never think how a kid is thinking. We never think how a kid can feel, how a kid can be disappointed. It's really very tough for him to listen all those things about his friends and nothing about himself. So parents need to learn that it's very important for the parents to know when to praise your child, and by praising you are not spoiling your kid. They need to understand that by praising you are just encouraging your child to go to the next step. Behavior modification is always a habit. We need to have patience, we need to hold patience, because in one day we can't change anything. With the phase of time, the things will get positive. And the best work can be when the teamwork begin between parents and kid. When this teamwork, and it's not only with parents and kid, the teachers, the caregivers, everybody, when a team is formed, we can expect a child behavior is likely to change even faster. Keep in mind that behavior modification should be customized to your child's specific need. The strategies that work well for one child might not work for the other child. I've always said that psychology or the therapies that we provide, it's a trial and error basis. And it's always been a trial and error, because what suit at one child or me cannot, it can't suit another child. So we need to make it's a tailor-made process. So we need to provide those therapies which are required by the child. We need to understand the child, we need to observe the child, and that is how we can provide the best therapies to the child. This is all I have today about discipline, the fourth type of discipline, which is behavior modification. I'll be coming very soon with another type of discipline that will be the last video on discipline. And then I will start with some other subject. If you have any queries or anything, please comment. Do let me know how my work is going, whether you like it or not, whether there is any correction required or not. Stay safe, stay well, take care, bye bye.